Hi everyone, it's Evangeline here at etrailer, and today we'll be taking a look at our Yakima RidgeBack hanging style bike rack right here on our 2020 Ford Edge. So this is the bike rack you would get if you want to carry a lot of bikes. You can get this in a 4-bike or a 5-bike version. What I have right here is the 4-bike version, but it works the exact same way as the 5-bike will, just can carry 4 versus 5 bikes. This has a bunch of different premium features compared to other hanging style bike racks. So we'll take a look at that just to see if it's the right fit. If this exact bike rack is the right fit for your bicycles as well as your Ford Edge. So first off, this has a weight capacity of 150 pounds total with a single bike capacity of 40 pounds, meaning you can carry a 40-pound bike, a 40-pound bike, and then the rest are lighter as long as your total is not over 150. The way our bike is mounted right here, though, is we have 1, 2, and 3 mounting points. So that third mounting point is our anti-sway cradle. If you want to use this with your other bikes, please make sure that anti-sway cradle is fully engaged. That way you have less sway between all of them. But let's take our bike off. So notice how you just press those levers and you just pull that zip strip out. That's kind of why they named it zip strip. It's super easy to use. We'll just put these to this side as we take our bike off. Notice how this can fold right in just to make it easier to maneuver your frame around the arms. Now, we'll take this off so that we can take a closer look at the bike rack itself. Notice how we have our different cushions on the inside of both the cradles as well as the anti-sway cradle and the zip strips. So you have your different grooves on the inside. That's going to be for your brake line, and then this goes on top. And as you ratchet it down to secure your bike's frame, the cushion on top also helps with providing a little bit more grip, but also not scuffing up your frame. That's the difference between the zip strip style and other bike racks that use rubber straps. Those straps take a little bit more effort in order to secure it, and it's kind of up to you to make a secure fit versus this, where you get a little bit more of a premium experience. We'll take some measurements real quick just to show the difference between the cradles. Measuring from the center of one cradle to another, it's 5.5 inches. If you want a little bit more space, you may want to check out the Yakima back road. That gives you 7 inches of space between your bikes. Now, because this can be a 5-bike rack, you have less space because you want to carry more. In fact, let's take a measurement for that. How much length does this add to the back of our Ford Edge? Measuring from our bumper to right where we have our signature Yakima bottle openers, it sits at about 39 inches of length added. The 5-bike version will be another 5 inches, so that's about 44 inches of length added. Definitely a fair amount of clearance you'll have to remember. So whenever you back into your garage or try to park into a tight spot, please don't forget that you have a bike rack as well as bikes behind you. Now, if you're not planning on taking your bikes out, but you also don't want to take your bike rack off, what you can do is you can fold these arms down. To do so, you have this lever right here on top. Just kind of lift up on the arms, then you lift up on the lever and just let this drop down. Move this anti-rattle. There we go. Now we have it down in a compact position. We'll take some measurements just to see the difference it makes. Measuring for closest point, that's going to be from our bumper to kind of where those cradles are. It sits at 6 inches, so plenty of clearance between the two. No worries at all about accidentally making contact with your Ford Edge. Length now added to the back of our vehicle is about 10 3/4 inches. So big difference compared to when the arms were up. You'll definitely want it in this position when you're just planning on driving around town and you don't want to take up too much space. Also, you do have a mid-sized SUV here, so if you have a really teeny tiny garage and you're not sure if your bike rack is going to fit behind your vehicle in your garage, that's the clearance you get to think about. Another thing you can do with this bike rack is, what if you want to access your hatch? So you can tilt it away. You push in on the bike rack, pull in on this lever and just let it drop down to a tilt. Notice that we have a really deep tilt here, especially compared to other hanging racks that don't tilt down as much, which gives us so much more space between our door and our bike rack, allowing us to access our trunk, grab whatever we need. So if we want to grab our bags, our helmets, our coolers, our water, we can do so without having to take the bike rack off. Now you do have to take your bikes off, so that's something worth considering. If you want a bike rack where you can keep your bikes on as you tilt away, you might want to check out our different platform racks. Those, like the Coolat Transfer, has a 4 bike weight capacity, or a 4 bike capacity, and that allows you to tilt it away with the bikes on if you want to access the hatch. But with it folded up like this, notice how it sits behind our forward edge. It sits kind of right where your windshield wiper is, so you'll still get pretty much full visibility out of your windows, and obviously your taillights are visible. Now your backup camera sits right over here, right behind the bike rack, so you are going to lose that visibility out of your backup camera, and it also kind of covers up your license plate. Let's talk about how it fits into our hitch. So the forward edge could either have an 1.25" hitch receiver or a 2" hitch receiver. Whichever one you have, it's okay, because this comes with an 1.25" shank with a 2" hitch adapter. So this fits right into the 2" hitch receiver on our forward edge, and you don't have to use any tools to tighten it down. You just pop it in, and we have this little safety pin on one end, and then you have this knob that tightens it down for you. So it extends a cam inside of your shank, and that creates an anti-rattle effect. Let's do a quick shake test just to kind of demonstrate how that works. So as I shake our bike rack, notice how I'm pretty much shaking the vehicle, showing that that's a secure fit inside. I know some people are worried about the adapter on the inside because they don't think it would make a secure fit if there is an adapter, but you can see that with that anti-rattle fully engaged, you have a tight fit over there, making for a smoother ride for your bikes overall. So my final thoughts about the Yakima RidgeBack bike rack is, if you want to carry multiple bikes, this is kind of what you would use, especially since you can get a 5 bike version. You can't really get 5 bikes with a platform rack, so this might be your best option. You have all your friends, all your family in your forward edge, and you all want to go for a bike ride, but you also want the slightly more premium features. This might be the way to go. So all in all, this was a look at the Yakima RidgeBack hanging style bike rack here on our 2020 Ford Edge.
Here it is on our test course. We'll start by going through the slalom. This is going to show us the side-to-side action, which simulates turning corners or evasive maneuvers. Next, we're at the alternating speed bumps, which we'll see the twisting action. This will simulate hitting a curb or pothole or driving over uneven pavement. And finally, we have the full speed bumps, where we'll see the up and down action, which is just like driving out of a parking lot, garage, or driveway.